It was February 5th, 2017. I had just finished preaching that night and got home. We were hosting a Super Bowl party at our house, and it was of the Patriots versus the Falcons in Super Bowl 51. And the Patriots got in quite a hole. They were down 28-3 in the third quarter. And all odds said that there was no way they were coming back. It looked bad. During the game, I mentioned to those that were there, I said, they're going to come back. I said, this is going to go down. They've gotten themselves in this hole so that they can call this the greatest comeback of all time. And no one believed me. And I didn't even believe myself. But for those of you that know football, you know what happened. Over the next quarter, incredible football was played on the Patriots side. And as a Patriots fan, I loved it. I feel bad for the Falcons fans because that's heart-wrenching for them. But as a Patriots fan, I loved what I saw. It was fun. And to be completely honest, there are days that I go back and I watch the highlight reel and some of the players mic'd up and hear their perspectives about what's going on. And so the Patriots came back, they win in overtime against all odds, and some have called this the greatest comeback ever. And for me, I love a good comeback story. I love it. Whether it's in television, movies, sports, whatever. Hearing of somebody that's down, going into the bottom of the ninth, going into the fourth quarter, I love a good comeback story. But for those that say that the Patriots had the greatest comeback story of all time, I'm going to have to disagree. And I know that you know where this is going. I would say that the greatest comeback story that ever happened, the greatest comeback that ever happened about 2,000 years ago. You see, here was God. He was on a cross. Darkness was over the land. Some of the followers of Jesus deserted him. Some of his some of his closest companions, they denied him. And so here's God on a cross, people jeering at him. He's about to be put to death. He's dying. And then he dies. And think about this. By putting yourselves in the shoes of the disciples. The person that you've been following for 3 years. The one that's claimed to be the Messiah. The chosen one of God. The one that's, if you've seen him, you've seen the Father. He's dead. What's going through your mind? But we know the rest of the story, don't we? 3 days later, early one morning, the tomb was rolled away, the tomb entrance was rolled away, and out steps Jesus. That's the greatest comeback ever. The one who was put to death conquered death by death. I love it. I love it. And here's the thing. Jesus did all of that. Here's where the encouragement comes in. For you. And he did it for me. Why? so that we can have a comeback story. And you might say, well, Greg, you don't know the things that I've done, the things that I've said. You don't know how far down this path I've gone in sin. Okay. You don't know my story either. Well, Greg, you don't know the kind of discouragement that I'm feeling right now, the kind of pressure that I'm feeling right now. And I just feel like I'm behind the 8 ball. Don't let any of that come in the way of your comeback story. Jesus paid too much for you to let those things stand in the way of your comeback story that he so desperately wants to author and be the catalyst of. You see, while some say that the Patriots and Falcons had the greatest comeback, that was the greatest comeback of all time in that game, Jesus did it so much better, and he invites you to have a comeback story of your own. So let's trust Jesus. The one who's done it, the one who knows the beginning from the end, he knows our beginning and end as well. So let's put our faith in him because he wants to author something so wonderful in your life. Will you let him? I hope you will. And if there's anything we can do to help you with that, reach out. We love you, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.